The acting president did not name the newspaper, but Kaichur News has been flagged before by government ministers for the reporting on the oil and gas industry. In fact, the newspaper publishes articles every day suggesting what the country is bound to lose with the contract it signed on to with ExxonMobil. One article went as far as to call the deal worse than slavery. It is the contention of Mr. Guyanese that there are indeed persons or groups of persons who do not have the best interest of Guyana at heart.
And whilst nobody can object to critiques or criticisms or questions, some of this is irresponsible, and you can see some of them linked very closely, one newspaper in particular pursuing policies which, if you look at them carefully, are identical to those that are being put out by one of our neighbors who is very much interested in stopping the work of Exxon offshore.
Mr. Guyanese questioned the motive of the news outlet and said that the analysis they're supposed to be carrying out about the petroleum sector should be the same for Guyana's territorial integrity.
And if a newspaper doesn't understand the difference between profit sharing and an arrangement that has a royalty plus normal or near normal profit tax, then they shouldn't be involved in such discussions. A good deal, if you, don't let me bias you, have a look. Our premier professor in the Caribbean, in the arena of economics, is Dr. Clive Thomas. I invite you to have a look at his contributions, which have been for a while weekly contributions on petroleum and gas. And you will see, I think, the last report, the last commentary he did at the end of, maybe at the end of January, pointing to the fact that you cannot simply take an agreement fashioned by one country and compare it mindlessly to others, take a bit, an element out of one and compare it elsewhere. You have to look at the specifics.
Mr. Guyanese's contention is that Guyana got a good deal from ExxonMobil, stating that, among other things, the physical surface of Guyana were all considered in the deal.
Offshore isn't just offshore. Offshore can mean just offshore. It can mean deep sea, for example. Our oil, petroleum reserves are quite far out into the deep waters, 3,000 meters and thereabouts. It requires a lot of investment. There are lots of risks involved because you may know the oil is there, but to get it out is another problem. At the same time, you know we face special problems. Both of our neighbors have, at various points, used force against those who are trying to help us develop those resources. All of those things have to be taken into account.
But questioned whether Guyana had asked ExxonMobil for more than 2% royalty, the minister was not immediately prepared to answer that question. Roy Den James, HGP Nightly News.